Okay, welcome everybody. Glad you could take a few moments to listen to some of this material for you. Uh, we're going to talk about developing a game plan for your BNI chapter to grow. And so we've got a couple ideas. Look at this more like a menu, like which one fits our chapter the best. That's what we're going to present today. I'm going to do it very quickly as well. So this won't take a lot of your time today. I think we all realize in our chapter is a product. How are we selling our chapter, right? We've got a lot of other things out there that a person could invest in marketing wise. Why would they want to invest in our BNI chapter, right? And a lot of groups have what we call stagnant brand is what the slide said. I would say stagnant growth. It doesn't mean that the brand is bad. What it means is we just need to tell more people about what we're doing. Most chapters are going to lose zero point 0.5 to 1.5 members a month on average. So we need to have new people coming in all the time. And that's just a normal standard from BNI. So what could we do to actually grow our chapter? So we really want to figure that out. A lot of times a chapter president might do it, but you may have somebody in your group you could turn into a growth coordinator. And that's really what the role of the growth coordinator is. If I was a member of your group, I would love to be, that'd be one of the roles I'd love to be involved in because I love seeing chapters grow and I think it's fantastic. It's a lot of fun when you have visitors coming through and people are joining. There's a lot of this new energy happening. And I know you want that for your chapter as well. We do stagnate sometimes, which means, we started off the year with 20 members. And by gosh, we added people, and you know what happened? We lost some people, and it's a year later, and we have 20 members. So, having a growth plan and potentially having a growth coordinator might do a lot to help your group out. And so, we're going to give you some actionable ideas today that you can actually take and use. All these ideas are in our growth coordinator manual, and we have that available in a Dropbox. And it's very easy to get from your director as well. So the biggest thing we have coming on is the end of February. Every year, we have something called Spring Forward. And what we do is we take all the statistics from all the groups and we rank them and we stack them and we have it's kind of like a contest. It'd be like having an NFL team. We're in a league and we're going against visitors and new members and growth. It's a fantastic time to have some kind of a strategy going on. It gives rejuvenation. It gets a competitive spirit going on in your group. We do recognition. And it's a great time because usually by about February to March, people realize with their goals, especially their sales goals, I need to do something to build sales. What can I do to build sales? Your BNI chapter might be just the thing they need. And they bring a lot of referrals as well. So figuring out a way to add those good, high quality people during Spring Forward is a fantastic strategy. And a lot of time it's just like the word says, it will actually spring your chapter into growth for the rest of the year. Because once you start to add 5, 10 members in a quick period of time, they start to add members. And next thing you know, it's October, November, and we still have growth going on. So that's why Spring Forward is so important. So work with your director that's working with your chapter and figure out which strategy works for you best. I'm going to share a couple of these with you right now. The first, this is strategy A, and I don't think it's a strategy A because it's a fit for everybody. This might be a fit for some people. We used to do really large open house events, and we used to call them think big events because our goal in these events was to do something bigger than we've ever done as a group. And so to do something bigger than we've ever done as a group requires some special, it requires a special mindset. And one of our members actually came up with this name because she had just read the book, The Magic of Thinking Big, which is about getting out of that box. And that's really what this event is designed to do. So what you do is you work with your director. What we'll do is we'll put a syllabus together for you. We'll put a 6-week game plan. The way we used to do it is we would come in on week 1 and we talk about adding 10 new members. That was usually the goal. Okay, so if we got 10 new members, before we talk about what kind of work we have to do to get those 10 new members, because there's some work involved, we would actually talk about how much would 10 new members be worth to our group. If you have 60 referrals a year times 10, that's 600 referrals. If we know an average referral in our group is worth a certain set amount of money, how much would 60 times that amount be? And we come up with a number and we put the number out there. Maybe it's $900,000. Maybe it's $1,000,000. I don't know. But we take that number and look at it, and I would ask the group a very simple question. This is what I would do. I would come in on week 1 and we do a special meeting. So I would take a little bit of time on this. We wouldn't run 100% the BNI agenda that day. All right. On week 1 on Think Big, I would ask them, I said, well, if it's $1,000,000, who gets that money? And usually it got really quiet. So All of us get it. Okay, good, good. I hope so. I hope it's not just one person getting the money, right? I hope everybody gets the money because contact spheres, power teams fill up, right? So if everybody gets the money, the second question I have for them is, does it make sense that we should have some accountability? And doesn't it make sense that everybody should do some of the work? Not one person doing all the work, but some of the people doing some of the work. And we'd have an honest look around the room and everybody say, yeah, we should all do that. Great. And so the way this thing is divided out, we would send out anywhere from 25 to 40 invitations. The BNI postcards work real well. And so what happens is in week 2, we all bring a list of who we're going to invite. If it's 40 names, we all decide on 40, for example, then we go over all the names. If somebody has 20 names, we say, hey, it's a good start, but we need 20 more names. Okay. The next week we have the postcards. We have got stamps, and they all bring in their filled postcards in. And we count each one, and we go to each member and say, how many cards do you have going out today? How many cards do you have going out today? How many cards do you have going out today? And if somebody had 30, we say, hey, great, you got 10 more to send out because we agreed on 40. It's whatever the number ends up being, because we can take the numbers and we can figure out how many visitors we're going to have. Then we do the follow-up, and then we do the second call. So the day before the open house, we actually go over our list of who we have coming, and we trade it with a partner, and they would reach out to that person 2 days before the event. And we would always get it within a couple seats. And it was amazing. And we get several overlaps. Most of the groups that did these events would anywhere add between 8 and 15 new members, like right off the bat. Here's the thing, though. There's a cost to it. Okay, the cost is it's a little bit of work. You lose your keynote presenters because in that 6 period of time, we don't have a speaker for that meeting. We work on this stuff in chapter. And so we hold everybody accountable. The second thing is everybody's held accountable. And I don't think anybody wants to fall short in front of their peers, and that's why it works. Let your director work with you. This doesn't fit every group. If you're having a challenge with accountability now with basic things like attendance and stuff, I would work on that first before you do a big event. But if it is a fit, reach out to your director, reach out to me. We'd love to sit down and grab coffee and show you what it might look like, because it's a definitive game plan. It's got a package attached to it. It's got all the stuff. It'll work, and it's always worked, by the way. When I did these, they used to be called the BNI Open House, and in St. Louis, they would tell me that open houses don't work. So what I did was I took the open house, I'm using big air quotes right now, the big open houses that don't work. I rebranded it. I made it so that the director was in there most of the days and everything was done in the chapter. And all of a sudden, the open house events did work, and we started to add 10, 15, 20 people to our groups. So it doesn't fit everybody. You got to have a culture of accountability. But if you think you're there, maybe you do that during the whole spring forward, and maybe you just win it. I would love to see a group do this. I think it'd be fantastic. So that's one option. Second option is the stack day, and this one works really well. You get this is a trick for all the methods we have. Anytime you have an open house or something, a position you're trying to fill, you want to have people show up in the same industry on the same day and let them know that we're interviewing for the position. And this one's a great one because you can take the different contact spheres and power teams, and you can divide them into those teams, and you can work on those and have an industry stack day. What happens during stack day is the keynote presentation is the 3 or 4 people in the power team. They get up and they speak, and what they do is they talk about what are good referrals, how you can find a referral, and they address the visitors in the house and talk about how they have referrals for them and how they think that they have referrals for us and they should probably join our group. And the darndest thing happens. Most of these people apply. The chapter gets a chance to interview for the right position. So this is a great one to use, and you can use this all throughout the year. What if you did 3 or 4 stack days during spring forward? What would that look like as a group? It really is a great way to fill those gaps. I like it because it focuses on power teams, which is strategy C, the visitor day by contact sphere. So this is just a continuation of what I just talked about. So I tell you what the magic, the hidden element of this is when you get people in a contact sphere, and you have that contact sphere actually give the keynote presentation to the group. It is incredibly powerful because they see actually how it works. The visitors don't care about how much business we've closed. I mean, all that stuff's in presence. We had $10 million in sales. We had BNI has done $2 billion. The visitors thinking one thought, okay, and you thought the same thing, by the way, so did I. What's in it for me? So the with them, right? The what's in it for me. When you do a context sphere, it's a lot easier to iron out that with them because we'll tell them what's in it for them. We'll say, we have referrals for you. Those referrals go to another chapter. Those referrals go to a competitor. What if those referrals came to you? Why not interview for our group? Powerful strategy. The other one is the BNI game. I love this one. I love having games throughout the year. Games should only last maybe 60 to 90 days, 90 days maximum. You don't want them to last the whole year, 10 to 12 weeks. And we divide it into teams. Usually, what I do in a group is I'll find the two most competitive people. If you've ever seen a disc profile, usually they're the two high D personalities. They could be high I's or D's. They could be S's and C's too, okay, if you know disc. But I'm going to get somebody that really cares about winning. And I'm going to have them go against each other. It's fun. I'm going to tell you something. This is a fun thing. I've had chapters where they dressed up as their favorite football team. They had like a meeting stimulant for everything throughout it. The BNI game would make total sense during Spring Forward. It'd make total sense, and it just have a lot of fun. It's like that. If you're doing it right, it should feel engaged. It should be fun. Find that creative person that really wants to do some creative stuff with it. It's a bonding thing. I've seen so many incredible things done with this BNI game. It's really open to you. I'd always say make it 3 or 4 variables, right? It probably should be new members worth the most points, visitors the second most points, maybe the third most points would be attendance, right? And you could even have a negative qualifier, like if you had under 90% attendance as a team, you get -5 points or something. I don't know. I've seen that happen before. What I've seen happen is the attendance gets better. We have more visitors. People start to join. There's some smack talking going on between the two people, all in the spirit of fun. And it's just a good time. It's just a good time. It's a great one. The new member open house. You've seen a lot of this. The ribbon, what we call the ribbon cutting ceremony. Here's what I see done best. I would tell you the ceremonial part of this is probably what's done best in our region, because you guys do a great job, and keep doing that. It's we get the ribbon goes across, we cut the ribbon, people sign the ribbon, make a big deal about it. Where I see it falls a little short sometimes is we don't have visitors that could help out the new member. And that's really the whole focus is, why don't we get 25, help the new member get 25 invitations out to hear their first open house that are in their power team, coach them on that. That's where good mentorship comes in. And then bring those people to the open house. If you did that, if you had them send out 25 invites, you're going to probably get about 5 visitors, okay? 5 visitors, you'll get 1 to 2 new members. Imagine a group that has this as their strategy starting off, working on it, using the mentor, using the growth coordinator, having the chapter help out with those fields. You might never have to do an open house again, and your chapter will be net growing. So we're at 22, now we're at 24, now we're at 28. Now we just went to 32 and we hit silver medallion status, and the directors came over and brought a banner and some cake, and we made a big deal about it. Now we're going to 40. This whole thing can carry you that way just by doing that, and it helps that new member get up to speed quicker, which means they get referrals quicker, because people that could find referrals for them come to their first presentation. Even if they don't join, they may have business for them. And that's really what the new member wants. And that's what you want, by the way, too. You want business, right? We want to close some business. We're here to, 80% of the problems that small business owners have could be solved by just increasing their closed business, increasing their sales. Okay. This is a way to do that. It's really fantastic. I tried this in a non-BNI related. I became a member of Rotary, and I tried to see how many people I can invite to my presentation at my Rotary in St. Charles. I got about 6 visitors, and it was fantastic. I did not get anybody to join Rotary, but Rotary is a little different than BNI, so I'm not going to hold fast to that. But it was really a fantastic meeting. It had a lot of energy. The